Everyone knows how strict the rules in a Muslim country are. You must cover your hair, no indecent clothes, and definitely no alcohol or smoking. The laws in these countries are so strict, a small mistake can get you fined or imprisoned. In Brunei, Sharia laws are even stricter, enforced by a monarch who's been in power for over 55 years and seems to love holding onto that control. Because of this, most citizens have lived in fear for years, feeling they have no choice but to fully obey all the laws without question. Yet, there's one lady that manages to ignore these rules and live freely: Princess Karraminah Bolkiah. As the niece of Sultan Hassanal and the daughter of Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah, the Brunei princess is known for her luxurious and, well, rule-breaking lifestyle. With a huge social media following, she openly consumes alcohol, wears revealing clothing, and displays numerous tattoos, behaviors that starkly contrast the expectations of a royal princess, particularly one from a Muslim-majority country. It's like Princess KC is anything but subtle in her modern, non-Muslim ways. Still, she's a young lady with deep Brunei culture roots, so I bet you wonder, why is she different? Why does she have the freedom to go against the rules and yet nothing happens? What is her life like? Well, stay put and watch as we uncover the inside life of the Brunei princess, as well as the powerful people backing the princess up, and why she's allowed to do whatever she likes. Brunei, officially called Brunei Darussalam, is a small country in Southeast Asia with a population of less than 500,000 people. Despite its size, Brunei is very wealthy because of its large oil and gas reserves. As a predominantly Muslim nation, Brunei strictly enforces Sharia law, often at the expense of freedoms like speech and expression. The country is ruled by Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah, the 29th Sultan of Brunei, who has been in power for over 5 decades. He is the eldest son of Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin III and the head of the Bolkiah dynasty, a royal lineage that traces back to the 14th century. Under his rule, the Sultan and his family have built an incredible fortune over the years, making them one of the wealthiest royal families in the world. One of the beneficiaries of this wealth and fame is the Sultan's niece, Karraminah Clarice Bolkiah, also known as KC del Rosario. Princess Bolkiah was born into the royal family of Brunei on November 21, 1993, to Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah, the younger brother of the Sultan and also the finance minister of Brunei. While her mother was a former Filipino model, Evangeline Teodoro del Rosario. Married to Prince Jeffrey as his third wife, she converted to Islam and was renamed Puan Fatima binti Abdullah, just before giving birth to 4 children, including Karraminah Clarice Bolkiah. Popularly known as Princess KC, the beautiful girl had everything she could ever want as a child, except her father's attention. Between his flirtatious ways, constant travels, and the 18 other children she had to share him with, Karraminah's childhood wasn't so rosy. As she grew up in the palace, she was surrounded by walls of art done by Picasso and Salvador Dali, which got her fascinated. She was also heavily pampered by the other members of the royal family, and gradually grew up to be an elegant, gorgeous princess. In the late 1990s, her dad, Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah, got caught up in a huge financial scandal. He was accused of embezzling billions of dollars, mostly because of his over-the-top lifestyle. He was known for spending ridiculous amounts of money on luxury homes, cars, and all kinds of expensive things. The whole situation brought a lot of attention to the royal family and how they were managing their wealth. But since he was part of the family, he didn't face any serious consequences. However, he was threatened with lawsuits and was eventually exiled from Brunei by his brother, Monarch Hassanal, in 1997 after being the finance minister for 11 years. He was forced to sell off all his houses, over 200 yachts, a helicopter, and many other properties he had collected over the years to pay back his $115 million debt to the country. On top of that, his wives and children were banned from staying in Brunei. Because of this, Princess KC, her mum, and her siblings had to move to the Philippines to start over. While dealing with her parents' divorce, Karraminah focused on her education. She started at Brent International School in Manila before studying fine art at the Raffles Institute of Design in Singapore. Eventually, she moved to London to pursue fashion at the prestigious Central St. Martin's College, where she developed her unique style. During that time, Karraminah explored her creativity in fashion and art. From giving dressing ideas to talking about her general life in modeling and building a fashion-based brand, the princess grew her social media fanbase. However, her life was often a struggle between the immense privilege given by her royal status and the scandals caused by her unusual lifestyle. After a decade, Prince Jeffrey reconciled with his brother and was allowed to return to Brunei, bringing his wives and children with him. However, Karraminah and her siblings were reluctant to move back. They chose to stay in Manila with their mother, though they occasionally visited Brunei during festive seasons to spend time with their father, cousins, and half-siblings. When Princess Casey goes to Brunei, she is often seen with her wealthy cousin, Prince Mateen, who recently got married to his wife, Anisha. As two of the most luxurious ladies in the country, she and her best friend turned sister-in-law attend high-profile fashion shows, polo matches, and other social events in Brunei and in other countries. As part of the royal family, she is also required to attend official gatherings, which she does with her family. Still, Karraminah is more active outside Brunei. Aside from her role as a Filipino model, she is the face of the J-Cat beauty makeup line, and she always uses the opportunity to show off her hair and tattoos, as well as her love for clubbing, alcohol, and cigarettes. She is known as the modern-day it girl and also has a love for top fashion brands like Alexander McQueen, Versace, Chanel, Off-White, Balenciaga, and Dior. Her Instagram page with more than 170,000 followers is also filled with revealing photos of her both in and out of Brunei. Born and raised in a country where there is little freedom of expression, Princess KC seems to defy all the odds. She is totally different from the rest of the young girls of her age in Brunei. Aside from the fact that she doesn't even cover up her hair, she also has a different fashion sense and is known for her high-life, modern lifestyle. As a top influencer, she has dated a top array of Filipino stars, including Mateo Giseli and Jake Ejercito. Princess KC chooses to publicly go by her mother's name, which is why she's widely known as KC del Rosario. This choice, combined with the fact that she comes from the royal family of a strict Muslim country like Brunei, makes her life almost unbelievable. In many other countries with similar laws, her lifestyle might have led to severe punishment or even the death penalty, but not in Brunei. Here, she is untouchable. She can do no wrong, and no one outside the royal family can go against her. Why? Because her uncle, Sultan Hassanal, who has more power than anyone else in the country, practically rewrote the Brunei constitution and made it a crime for anyone to persecute the royal family, both in words, writing, and any other way. Which means anything and everything they do is good and must be respected, including a non-Muslim lifestyle. Having ruled as the monarch of Brunei since 1967, Sultan Hassanal, also known as the Singing Captain, has proved over and over again that he does not forgive offenders that easily, so no one is ready to go against him. Her father, Jeffrey Bolkiah, has also risen to become one of the richest men on the earth again, so with a strong backing from the men in her life, Karraminah is practically unstoppable. Another reason Princess KC is able to live so freely and make bold lifestyle choices is that she holds no official title. While her mother and siblings have additional titles tied to their royal status, KC is exempt from these formal obligations. Aside from being part of the royal family, she has no other ties to Brunei's monarchy. There have also been rumors that she is not Prince Jeffrey's biological daughter, so her royalty heritage is quite up for debate. This has also sparked a lot of discussions about her birth, but Karraminah has refused to talk about that aspect of her life. Although she dresses more conservatively in Brunei in order to not attract negative attention, it is very obvious that she does not follow the rules and is not expected to. Just like Princess KC, her older siblings also lead very unconventional lifestyles with little regard for the strict rules of their home country. Her elder sister, Samantha Rochelle, is a Filipino model and actress who has a passion for tattoos. She's also a mother to a child with a Filipino footballer, which violates traditional expectations as she's living with someone she isn't married to. Their brother, Prince Bardi, is equally unconventional. He's the lead singer of a horror-themed rock band and is well known for his full-body tattoos and aggressive musical style. Seems like tattoos are a bit of a family tradition, don't you think? Surprisingly, their mother, who converted back to a Catholic after her divorce from Jeffrey, never remarried. Instead, Evangeline focused on raising her children and then starting a media company in Los Angeles. Just like her children, she has explored her creative interests in producing several Filipino films, and this has inspired her children to venture into the storytelling field. One of the surprising things about Princess KC is how misunderstood she often is. While many see her as a flirt or judge her harshly for not following the strict rules of her home country, she has always been open about what her life is really like. In several Instagram videos, Karraminah has shared that she's actually more of a homebody than people assume and isn't as wild as her public image might suggest. She's even admitted that she doesn't usually tell people about her royal status unless it comes up naturally. KC has also shared her aspirations, which paint a different picture of her personality. She dreams of becoming a Filipino film producer, fully committing to her role as a fashion influencer, and one day starting a charity foundation to help people affected by typhoons in the Philippines. It seems like there's much more to Princess KC than meets the eye. Regardless of everything, It's clear that the Sultan's leniency towards his niece and her siblings isn't something extended to others in Brunei, and this has caused some negative backlash in the country. Under Brunei's strict laws, speaking out against the royal family is a punishable offense, and several people have been jailed for doing so. As a result, most citizens are too afraid to voice their opinions, even if they disagree with the favoritism shown to certain members of the family. For many, it's safer to stay silent and keep their thoughts to themselves. Because of this, people have turned to the internet to express their anger, where they can stay anonymous. Karraminah is often at the center of heated debates. Some people criticize her for living a lifestyle that completely clashes with the strict Sharia laws in Brunei, while others defend her and say she has the right to live however she wants. A lot of people think she isn't really Muslim because she grew up with her mum in a more open and free country. But others argue that as part of Brunei's royal family, she should still follow the laws of her father's land. Outside Brunei, the opinions get even harsher. Many people see her being just like her dad, morally questionable and spoiled by the family's money. Her family's wealth is another big reason for the hate. People think it makes her immune to rules that everyone else has to follow. On top of that, there are rumors that the family is hiding some dark secrets, and some believe Karraminah knows all about them. This mix of privilege, controversy, and mystery keeps her at the center of people's criticism. So, what do you think about Karraminah's lifestyle? Is she a spoiled princess with little regard for her religion and its rules, or is she a bold, modern-day woman who prefers to set her own standards? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know what you think about the princess. Trust me, there are loads of stories about the royals that you don't even know yet.